Chats live. Today I am going to be talking to Charlotte and hopefully also Claire from Emporia Patterns. So if you haven't heard of Emporia before, they design patterns that are really comfortable but also have some great statement features, so definitely worth checking out. And they also sell fabric as well, so you can get prepared for a whole project from Emporia. So I'm really interested to hear how Claire and Charlotte's own stashes are affected by running and working at a lovely fabric shop. Hello Emporia. I meant to say in a message to you actually, Charlotte, don't worry if you don't join the first time, because it always takes a couple of attempts. So if you are watching back on YouTube, I will put in a timestamp for when we get our guests in the chat, in all of the stash chats, just so that you can skip the initial preamble. But yeah, happy lunchtime, everyone. Normally I do stash chats in the evening. So yeah, I'm excited to see if any different people can join us for lunch. But yeah, maybe people are in different time zones as well. So excuse me. So let us know where you're joining from. So it's 1 p.m. here in the UK. But yeah, it might be a different time where you are. So yeah, if anyone's just joined in, I'm going to be talking to Charlotte and Claire from Emporia. So I've met them both at shows, at the Knitting and Stitching show and the Stitch Festival, and they're both a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to this chat. So yeah, we've got two for the price of one today, hopefully. Couple of people on the chat. I don't think I've done one before where I've had two guests on at the same time, so that will be fun. But yeah, if you were tuning in last week, you will have seen my mega week of loads of stash chats, talking to everyone who was on this, well, not everyone who was on the Sewing Bee, but everyone who I spoke to last week was on the Sewing Bee. So I can see that Loratu has joined. So hello Loratu, thank you so much for joining today. But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well and excited to chat some about fabric and stashes. But yeah, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments and I'll keep an eye on the chat and Emporia will answer. Let me just see if I can send a request. I'll have to pause the chat a little bit to send that request, but hopefully we'll get Charlotte in the chat soon. So that will be really fun, and we can see who's got the biggest stash out of Charlotte and Claire. What do you reckon? Have you got your ideas of who has the biggest collection? So yeah, also let me know who else you want to see on the stash chats. So next week I'm going to be talking to Ruan, who is the Yorkshire Sew Girl. So that will be back in the evening, so 8 p.m. next Thursday. I'm going to be chatting with Ruan, so hopefully that will be good fun. And I know that Ruan uses Stash Hub as well, so I'm interested to hear about how using the app has affected her stash, whether it's helping keep on top of things and resist the urge to keep buying, because there's so much temptation, isn't there? It's just too easy to keep buying. Okay, there's the first attempt. Let's try again. This always happens, so don't worry, Charlotte. Yeah, if you're a regular viewer or you've been on the show, you'll know that this always happens. It takes a few attempts. I don't know why Instagram hasn't sorted itself out. Here we go. I've got your calendar. Oh, you're right here.
Hello. Sorry. I recognise that. Sorry, it's not that funny. It's not that funny. It's just a calendar. I do apologise. Sorry.
I didn't see anything written on the calendar, so you haven't. How are you guys?
Sorry. Hello. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Sorry. Good. Excellent. Sorry. Well, turn you up as loud as possible. All good. What? Yeah, first time.
Well, it did work the second time. So they just take it just 2 times every time. So
I see, fair enough. Sorry. Good. Well, second time lucky is almost as good as first time lucky, isn't it? Excellent.
It didn't take 3. So we've got that going for us.
Sorry, you missed a bit there. Do you want to go and see if Alfie can not be on your internet at the same time? Sorry, we're concerned Wi-Fi sharing issues, so Claire's just gone to see if we can have it all to ourselves, because you keep sort of jumping a bit and going a bit funny. So it's just me for a couple of minutes.
Well, do you want to kick off with your sewing story then, about how you got into sewing, and then we can talk about Claire's sewing journey?
Oh gosh, how did I get into sewing? Well, my mum, as is so often the way, my mum was a massive sewer, and she was living in London in the 60s, and making her own clothes was obviously cheaper in those days, so her and her friends would go to Bieber and places like that and basically copy shapes and then go and find a pattern and make up their own stuff. And she tells stories about one of her friends making a crochet dress that was like a mini dress at the beginning of the evening, but by the end of the evening was almost a maxi because it had grown throughout their time in the nightclub. My mum's friends talk about my sewing story. So I started doing little bits of sewing when I was, I don't know, 6, 7. I used to make stuff for Barbie. I used to make stuff for my toys. I like knitting as well. I was very crafty, loved anything crafty and creative. So kind of always dabbled, and then didn't do it for a big long time when I was a grown up. And then after I had my second child, when I was on maternity leave and obviously had nothing better to do,
all the spare time,
decided to get back into it properly. And then that's around the time that Claire and I hooked up.
in the
Not in a romantic way. I know, I need to clarify that. People
We're married.
It's not true. It's just a professional relationship.
So what about you, Claire? How did you get into sewing?
My nanny, put my arm around my business wife, sorry. My nanny, my mum's mum, taught me to sew when I was really small, probably similar age to Charlotte. I've always done it. Went to college, studied clothing technology. Always sewed, really. Can't remember not sewing. That's
amazing.
Really interesting stuff.
So how about
it's just
your... Sorry, what are you saying?
Sorry, you stop. I was just going to say, if it's always part of your background, it's just always been there, hasn't it? So it's clearly something. A friend of mine is a baker, not a professional, but he finds himself as a baker, and he bakes almost every day. And I think we do something creative every day, and I think that's just who you are as a person, isn't it? If you've got that urge within you, you have to do it.
Yeah, definitely. That's really good as well, that you've got that family connection and someone in your family was able to teach you. You've got someone you can ask for help as well.
Yes, but my mum is quite old school, and I shuddered the other day thinking about all of I'm making the peony at the minute, the fabric godmother one, and I shuddered thinking about how many tailor's tacks she would. I don't do tailor's tacks.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I just pin it and draw a line and iron it, and that works fine.
I think when you learn to sew when you're young as well, you're not scared of doing things. I used to just make whatever I wanted because I wanted to. Make a skirt out of wallpaper because I think that's a good idea. But it wasn't
That's very sewing bee. That's a very sewing bee thing to do, isn't it? You're ahead of the game there.
It was beautiful. Brown floral wallpaper.
Certainly a vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So who's got the biggest stash then out of the two of you?
Well, it depends if you count the shop.
You count the shop, then me, but
yeah, it's probably me.
at the minute you're more prolific in your buying.
Yeah, Claire's very good at. You won't go and look round at the shows because you know she'll be tempted, whereas I will look.
You always need a treat when
I always need a treat. I always need a treat for working very hard. So it's probably me, but it's not massive. It's not massive. It's it's all contained within an 8.
I'm pointing at
Claire's Kallax. It's the majority of it is contained within an 8 cube Kallax. Is it 8? It might be 10 or 12 actually. It goes near to the ceiling.
Yeah. The Kallax is like the third unit of measurement for sewists after inches, centimetres, and then calax.
Yes, definitely. See, having said that, I've realised there's a chest in my sewing area, similar to Claire's setup with the patio doors. There's a chest that's got a blanket on for the cat, but inside that chest, there's more fabric. But that's mostly like bed sheets and random charity shop stuff that's not like nice. It will do for toiles and also for dressing up stuff, maybe for the kids. So my daughter had Victorian Day today, so obviously anything like that, bed sheets and random old fabrics are good for that sort of thing. And there's quite a lot on my sewing chair currently because it's
like confession time, isn't it?
Because it's two, so they're all projects that need to be done soon, so there's no point in trying to wrangle it into the calax. I just have to get on with it quickly.
Yeah.
It just obviously just keeps falling off.
Before it's put in the calax, then it doesn't even count.
Yeah.
Straight in.
And also when it's
out.
in the calax, it's in the, so I've got the, again, I keep pointing to Claire's because it's the same.
Can't see it.
No, the boxes. I've got the boxes, so no danger of daylight fading on the edges. It makes me very nervous when I see other people's stashes and it's just folded like a bookcase, and I think this is going to be bleached by the sunlight and you're not going to be happy. But you're half and half, aren't you?
I'm half and half. It's all in bags and squished in where I can find a space.
Yes, but there's a reason your sewing room is higgledy-piggledy, isn't it? It's because half the shop is in here now.
Do you find that having the shop like expands your stash, or it actually keeps it less because you're like, okay, well that's, I've bought it for the shop, I don't need it for me?
Yeah, I guess I buy things because I like them, so I do use from the shop. Yeah. It's very rare that I buy from other places.
You
apart from rainbow
fabrics, yeah.
Rainbow fabrics. So.
Yeah. It's tricky with the shop because we can both make decisions about fabrics that we're going to get in because we like them, and then we think, oh, that would be nice for this or the other, and then we'll sit and look at it until it's sold and then go, I wanted that for me, and now it's gone.
But also you can see things too much. That's the thing with the shop. You buy things because you love them, and then you go, oh, why did I ever choose that for the shop? Because I don't actually like it.
Yes. So I think some of the prominent fabric godmother designs from the original release, I see it in the shop too much, and my eyeballs go, I'm bored of that now. Even though I loved it and I love the design in general, I've just seen it too much, so I can't look at it anymore. It's done.
You want the new ones?
And
yes, the new ones are all good, but then. Sorry.
Do you find like if there's a fabric that's really, really popular and you see lots of people making different things with it, you're like, okay, well I can't make that pattern now because that's been done and I want something unique. So
it's not so much. I don't think it's so much it's unique. It's like it's just my eyes get
too much.
Yeah, my eyes get bored of seeing it. Even if it's done in lots of different ways, even if you see it in thousands of different patterns, dresses, skirts, shirts, trousers, whatever, your eyes just go, no, too much. And because we do the shows, and obviously a lot of people wear the stuff to the shows, when you're there for 4 days, you can go, oh, seen that again. Like you're ticking it off a mental list in a way.
It's quite fun at the shows. And like recognize, you're like, oh yeah, there's another Mabel, you can get a feel for what's popular. And
a few years ago it was Spot the Cleo at Ali Panley. It was like every second person was wearing a Cleo dungaree dress.
You could just shout Cleo because they walk past. A wilder gown. People are very impressed when you know their patterns, though, which is quite funny. Goes that wilder gown. Yes. How did you know? Because it's a wilder gown. That's how I know.
Because I remember when I went to the first ever show, I went on my own, and it was in the start of 2020, and I was like totally new to sewing and I didn't know anything about it, and then people are all around me having these conversations. I think the Maya Sotis dress was the hot pattern of the moment at this time, so everyone was going on about Maya Sotis else that was happening. Like, these people know a lot, and I'm really overwhelmed.
Yes, it's like one pattern will sort of drift to prominence, and then everyone gets on it, and then obviously the next one takes over, and then you start to be able to see more. But it's like each brand has one really big hitter, and that's the one that you'll see from that brand at a show. So obviously being at shows is quite dangerous for stashes.
Yeah. So what do you reckon is like the signature pattern of the Emporia collection?
Well, it's got to be Penelope, really, hasn't it? Yeah, she's taken off like none of the others. She just went completely mad in March when we launched at the Stitch Festival. And she's just continued to ride high. Yeah,
big sleeves.
People love a big sleeve, and also because it works really well in lots of different fabrics, and it's good for summer and winter. I think it's got an all season appeal, which is really helpful as well. And it's quite hackable, I think. We've not done as much hacking as we could have done, but you know, she's not even a year. She's not even a year old. She's still a baby.
Do you feel like there's pressure for the next pattern releases then to try and like do something that's going to be as popular as Penelope?
Yeah. We're working on some things.
Yeah.
Ooh, exciting.
There's always stuff in the pipeline. Yeah, there's always stuff in the pipeline, and Claire's always seeing things and being inspired, aren't you? So, and then I now can go, I want this. Can you make this into a pattern? Because I want to wear it.
There's a few new ones coming at the beginning of next year, so that's good. It's exciting.
Nice.
We only managed to release Penelope this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only released one this year, which is a bit silly.
Because of the shop. Because of closing the shop, that took up a lot of time. But now the shop has gone. Yay. As in, it's just online. It's not in the physical shop. Has gone. So,
So have you found that some of the pressure off having it online only?
Yeah, it's so much nicer not having a physical shop.
It is hard because we're not in the new studio yet. It is hard going to, because all the fabric's in a unit. So it's really good for load in and out for the shows.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about making it look nice. You just have to worry about kind of putting people back in their family groups. But we're in Claire's house and the unit is down the road, so you can't just go, oh, where's that? It's not there. So that's not great, but not long to go.
Yeah, we're moving in the beginning of January for our new studio space, so that's exciting.
So as we go then in January, new year, new studio, new patterns on the way.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be good.
Definitely. We've just kind of settled into being in your house and then we'll be off somewhere else again.
It's so small in here. We have a lot of stuff in one tiny room.
It is very crowded.
A bit annoying.
Has it given you like a more like fuller appreciation of the like amount of stock that you've got now? It's all rammed into your own house and you can't escape it.
Well, we've got the patterns here, but the fabric's in a storage unit, so that's okay.
But yeah, it's so much better to be able to see it and have it on hand. Because we're both obviously quite visual people.
Yeah, looking forward to it all being in one big space. It'd be really nice.
Yeah, because there's a lot to be said for the inspiration of being able to see it all in one go as well. So aside from just looking at it and going, I want to make something from that, you look at it and go, well, that might work for the new pattern, or that could work for a developmental thing that's ongoing, because it just speaks to you in that particular way.
And where you sell like the patterns and the fabrics at Emporia, do you find people will often buy like a bundle so they can make the whole project?
Yeah, so was it after the show for Penelope Needlecord? Was it before the show? Before. So just before we went to Harrogate, somebody posted on the Fold Line group a white company, white stuff dress that looked very similar to Penelope, and it was in needlecord, and it was 100 and something.
Yeah.
£30. And so we posted on our stories this Penelope pattern, and we've just got a whole load of needle cord in at £10 a metre, and a lot of people went, oh, and it all kind of kicked off before we'd even gone to the show.
Yes, because you said you'd save £81.
Yes,
Made your own.
yeah, exactly. It was only 50 odd quid for the pattern and 4 metres of the needle cord, or a bit more.
But yeah, it shows people like to buy what they see on the mannequin as well. A lot of people like seeing them made up, and so we sell a lot of the same thing that we've made.
Yes.
Quite interesting.
Yeah. So I was wearing Kobe, which is one of our really, really simple designs, and one that we sell to a lot of beginners, out of one of the new Fabric Godmother jacquard, viscose jacquards, and a lot of people said they were going to recreate that. So if you give people the visual spectacle, then they often will go with that.
It does make a big difference, like seeing like patterns made up in different fabrics, because sometimes you can like look at the pattern cover, especially I find with like the big 4 patterns, and the fabric they've chosen is like really drab, and you're like, I'm not sure about this pattern, it looks really different, and someone else has made it. You're like, oh, actually, yeah, that's quite a nice design.
Yeah, that's why on our sample rail we have lots of different things of the same things. People go, oh, is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, is that on the cover? Yeah.
Yes. A lot of people can't tell that Penelope without frill is the same as Penelope with the frill. Because I guess it's like, well, that's needle cord and that's cotton, so obviously it couldn't be the same pattern, but it is, and that's the magic of sewing, essentially, isn't it?
Well, I guess they're looking at the overall vibes rather than the actual like seam lines.
And I suppose obviously we see them every day and we know precisely what it is, so it's different for the customers to look, and at a show specifically it's quite overwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what to look at.
Yeah. And as well, it's good that you've got your different samples, and it's quite good that people think they're a completely different pattern in a way, because then you could be like, look, you could make this Penelope for a wedding, or you could make it for your Tuesday. It's different vibes with one product.
Yeah, absolutely. The versatility of the patterns is really demonstrated through the different fabrics, and that's something that we really try to get across, because obviously you don't want to buy a pattern and then only use it once. That's almost the same as buying ready to wear, isn't it? You want to buy that pattern and use it several times in different ways, so not that you've got a wardrobe full of identical items, but so you're using different fabrics, different fibers, different variations, and then you're hacking it as well. We love seeing what people do with the patterns and how they hack them, because it's just so inspiring to see what other people are doing creativity wise. There was a lady at Harrogate who made a Frida, which is again quite a simple one, but it's very loose fitting, and she put a big ruffle on the bottom, and that's something that we haven't thought of. Very, very simple, like stick a ruffle on all sorts of things. It's not like mind-blowing, but it's just something that we hadn't thought of doing. So it's really good to see what people do, and to make it their own.
So do the two of you have like similar styles of what you like to sew and what fabric you gravitate towards, or do you both have a kind of different shop?
Well, Claire likes a bright thing. I mean, you're not looking terribly bright today, but I am little Miss Monochrome a lot of the time. But we have got a few fabrics in common.
We have, yes.
I quite like it when we we have the same fabric, but we've made a different thing out of it.
Like Mummy and me.
Yes. So we've just bought from Rainbow Fabrics some very lovely peel needle cord to share.
Nice.
And what are you going to make with yours?
Penelope,
obviously. And mine is probably going to be a peony once I've worked out my full bust adjustment situation.
Both got Fabric Godmother.
Yeah.
What's it called? Viola.
Yes, and yours is...
I've got a Penelope.
And mine's Myosotis. What else have we got? It's the same. Oh, another Rainbow Fabrics one.
Yes, and the black stars.
And yours is Penelope, and mine's Yes. So I quite like that. I think it's quite funny. We did a live. Did we do a live? We were both. Oh, it was for one of the Sewing Bee lunchtime lives, and we both wore the
Viola.
No, it was the Rainbow Fabrics green viscose.
Oh, yes.
And when we walked through town to get lunch, people were staring at us. Because it's not like it's a uniform, it's just the same fabric, and people just thought we were very weird. But I find it funny.
I feel like you would see that and initially be like, okay, these ladies are wearing the same dress, but then you look and you're like, okay, well actually that's not the same dress. How did this happen?
I don't understand that.
Clever.
But one time that did happen to me because I made my mum a dress. I made my mum a Kobe once, and then I'd made myself one in a nice fabric, and my mum had said, I really like that, can you make me one? So I made her one, and then I went to pick her up to go to the cinema for Mother's Day, and she was wearing exactly the same dress as me. It's not so much fun with your mother. And everybody kept looking at us. We went to have afternoon tea at the cinema and then go to see Downton Abbey, the movie, and everybody kept looking at us going, oh, it's just horrible.
See, I did...
twins!
Lovely together. Did you plan that? No.
See, I did obviously Team Lemons in the summer, and I had the same fabric for me and my daughter, but she's 11.
Okay, yeah. My mum's nearly 80. It's not so fun.
Because I was saying, I think this is probably the last summer I can get away with her wanting to match with me. So then we have a 40-year gap, and then we can do it again.
She'll be a teenager and then we'll be trying to match with her.
When you're 80, you can bamboozle your daughter into it and she won't be able to get annoyed, so you'll be all right then.
Yeah, definitely. But yes, we like a lot of similar things, but then obviously, we're not the same person, even though sometimes we feel like we are.
Yeah, I like quite a loud print, even though today I'm not.
No, we like a bit of Alexander Henry, don't we?
Yes.
Love a bit of slightly gothic print. You're not averse to the gothic, are you?
No.
Whereas obviously for me, it's more my bag.
I would have been in a Penelope today, but I had to go for a mammogram before this, so I had to have easy
access.
Otherwise,
you're still on brand.
Yeah, otherwise it'd be in a Penelope. So.
Yes,
that's your default.
Yeah,
Penelope for everything.
I just love it because just feel really comfortable in Penelope, and I just wear them a lot.
What were you wearing before March then?
Cassie. Used to wear Cassie.
Nothing, just naked.
Just underwear, that was it. Tights.
Yes, it was Cassie. Yeah. Cassie was one of our quite popular ones, and then she's...
Next year it'll be whatever's new. I'll just wear that all the time.
Yes, you get stuck in a rut. Kind of like, what's Steve Jobs and his polo neck and just wear the same thing every day, but in a different fabric.
Yes.
Just like, who's your style icon? Jobs. Oh,
yeah.
No, just
Steve Jobs to me. She told me I look like Whizbit earlier. So we don't even know who Whizbit is.
I didn't say you look like Whizbit. We were talking about body measurements and body shapes.
Probably before you were even born. It was a TV programme.
It was a magical triangle. That's what
I did my measurements for something earlier, and I said I'm a triangle. Nobody knows who was.
Some people. I do.
Sorry.
excellent.
Pattern-wise,
What
though,
we're talking about. Sorry.
Fabric and sewing and things, Pattern-wise, I buy a lot of patterns, and obviously Claire designs her own patterns, so you're a bit resentful.
I get annoyed.
Other people's patterns,
I get a bit annoyed if they don't work first time, which is fine, isn't it? Because everybody has to change their patterns to make them fit themselves. I just, I don't buy that many.
No, but you just treated yourself.
Yes, I don't know where it is.
You can
here somewhere. I just bought the Megan Nielsen Hoovia jacket because we have some quilted double gauze, so too lazy to make my own pattern, so I bought one.
That's
Nice.
fair enough, though. Like, that's what normal people do.
I know.
Yes,
Do you self-draft a lot of things that you make, Claire?
Oh, what, sorry?
self-draft.
Oh, yeah.
You self-draft. But then you're like, oh, maybe I'm going to have to turn this into a pattern as well then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easier because I get annoyed when things don't fit me straight away because weirdly our patterns do fit me because I've done them.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, I'm spoiled because obviously all of the Emporia patterns fit me because that's how they start. They get tested. I'm the original fit model to fit. And then when I buy another pattern, I'm like, oh, it doesn't fit me straight away. Is this rude? I have to do things to it. And so as much as I love the learning process of working through a new pattern, if I don't get it right within the first 2 goes or so, I can get a bit sulky. But there you go. That's what it's like for everyone. I appreciate that I'm in a privileged position.
So how's the fitting process going for your peony?
Well, the 16 with a full bust adjustment was just too big. I don't know if that's because I expected it to be more fitted than it actually is, or if it's the denim is just too crisp and structured. But I'm going to do a 14 with a full bust adjustment tomorrow, and then recut the skirt because I've definitely a 16 on the hips. So basically be 14 upstairs to the waist and then 16 on the hips and see how that goes. I'm not desperately looking forward to redoing all of the millions of darts, but I am determined that it will work because I really love that style and it looks so good on other people. But it's been really interesting listening to a lot of feedback. There's obviously a lot of people making them currently for Christmas, or people who've made them recently. It's been very interesting hearing what people have said about either it fitting them like straight out the packet, which is amazing, or they had to do a lot of work on it. So I'll be interested to see. I feel in my bones that the 14 with a full bust adjustment will nail it. I think it'll be where I'm looking, and then I'll make a nice needle cord version. And then Claire very kindly gave me 4 meters of our beautiful black leopard print cotton sateen jacquard this time last year. And that's going to be hopefully my Christmas Day dress, unless I decide to make a day pajamas. Some caught between the two, caught between going extremely glamorous or this is pajamas.
Glamorous pajamas, though.
Glamorous pajamas, yes. But then I might just buy some from Sainsbury's because there's no shame in ready to wear, people. We must not forget that. Have you made the peony?
I mean,
is that on your list?
No, I was tempted by the party, but that's like in 3 days and there's no way I'm going to have time to make it by then. But yeah, it is. I haven't actually bought the pattern yet just because I know that it will be like a fitting process. So I'm waiting until I've got like time to get my teeth in. But if there's like an event coming up, that'll motivate me. So I'm going to some weddings next year, so maybe I do need to make one.
Oh, there you go.
Or maybe I'll have to just make a Penelope and then I can eat more. We'll see.
Yeah.
Correct. There is that. So Penelope in like a viscose is quite soft and drapey. It's not all like the sleeve obviously has much less volume. So it's sort of more slimmed down that way. Depends again, as we said, it depends what you're making stuff from. It all looks different.
Yeah. Cool. Well, if you're watching, if you've got any questions, just pop them in the chat. Is there anything else that you guys want to tell us about your sewing or your stashes or the shop?
I'm starting to collect more and more buttons because I work with Louise at Ethel and Joan now, and these ones are her new marble collection, and I was desperately thinking what I wanted to make a Halloween dress, and there just wasn't time. And now I've decided, instead of having black buttons on this dress, I'm just going to replace them with the silver sparkly one, because she pointed out to me that you can do that with buttons. You don't have to make a brand new article. And I've got these nice neon orange ones from her as well, that are hopefully going to be an Anthea blouse, because that is a pattern I have seen lots and lots of places, and instead of going, oh, that's boring, I don't want to make it now, it's just made me go, I absolutely definitely need to make it now, because it's quite similar to a ready-to-wear blouse I already own. So I think that the sizing, the fitting of that should be super easy, because I should just be able to compare it to that one. And I don't think it's got any bust starts. Do you know?
Sorry, just thinking about my shiny gold fabric down here.
Oh, yes. Claire's got some real outliers in her stash.
If anybody can suggest what to do with this, I'd be ever so grateful. I don't even know what it is. What is it?
I don't know. Is it
I got
cotton?
It's got cotton on the background. On the background?
On the background.
Back. It's from New Craft House at the Stitch Festival a few years ago. It's gold.
It's incredible.
Wow.
It is supposed to look that crinkled. It's not just been in the stash long enough.
What's that, about 1.5 meters?
Yeah. The bomber jacket.
Can it just look like a big baked potato? Did you see the last singer last year?
What about the hosier? Have you got enough?
I don't know.
Oh. You'd have to do the quilting yourself then, not take the lazy option.
I'm not doing that. No, because it's all crinkly. That would be weird quilting it, wouldn't it?
I don't know. I think that would be nice.
So, answers on a postcard.
Yeah,
please.
yeah. What about your...
Oh. Again, from Rainbow Fabrics. I think everybody has this. So, I was 50 this year, and lovely Jen Hogg and Louise from Ethel and Joan bought me this for my birthday at the Festival of Quilts.
Oh,
beautiful.
I need to make a Penelope.
is this the one where
Yes,
What's this?
yeah, it looks like it's it looks like it's hand drawn in a way, like it's kind of painted on
as well, isn't it?
It's very folk art.
It is.
Maybe we should make
Frida
or a boo-boo.
Boo-boo, yes. Boo-boo. That'd be good for Christmas Day, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, see, I love that sort of thing, but I don't often wear stuff that's really bright. Like the
I made her wear pink once for a photo shoot. She was not happy.
pink and yellow, no less.
Oh yes, that. And I was thinking of the jumper that was black and pink.
No, I quite like that. It was just a subtle,
pink and yellow and blue.
subtle bit. Yeah, pink and yellow. The cover of Martha, there's a pink and yellow, and it's a bit. What's the ice? There's an ice cream from the 80s or the 70s.
Neapolitan.
No, I don't know. I just remember a pink and yellow. Reminds me of an ice cream. Sorry. I've got some nice velvet that I got from Rainbow Fabrics. It's green. It looks black on the screen, but it's green, and it's not their viscose velvet, which I did get some of last year, and I put it in the washing machine and I ruined it. This is obviously like a poly, and it's stretched because it's scuba backed. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. So I think I'm going to make a pair of wide-legged trousers out of it, and maybe a jacket, and have like a 70s kind of, maybe a bit Java Cocker sort of suit. That could also be for Christmas Day. Yeah. Sitting.
You have to get changed halfway through to prove that it's stretchy. So you have to get changed after dinner.
Yes. Oh no, before dinner. I shouldn't be trusted to eat in velvet. That's not sensible, is it? Yeah. And then
make pyjamas out.
And then it'd be very warm, wouldn't they? Yeah. Did I bring anything else? Oh, just some velour from see, this is part of what happens. Is I go to a show, look very hard at other people's things, and then end up buying stuff from our own stand as well. This is some teal velour, which is for my daughter to make little rosy cheeks. Has released 2 children's patterns. She's released a pair of trousers. She's released a trouser pattern. So I'm going to make They're off. I'm going to make some trousers for my daughter, and there's a t-shirt pattern as well. So if she wants a matching, there you go. See, you bought that.
I bought
You bought
it.
two. You've gone mad. You bought two whole patterns. Is that in this year? You've bought two whole patterns.
Yeah.
I don't know how many I've bought, but it's probably into double figures. Yes, I'm going to make her a matching pair of trousers and a t-shirt, probably from the velour.
That's going to be so cute. I had a pair of like black velour sort of wide leg trousers, and that was what I wore to like every school disco.
Excellent. Yes, I'm all about the wide leg trousers. That's Jen's fault because she wore some when we were in FOC, and I thought
Festival of
Quilts. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
calls it
people. Not everyone on the inside calls it FOC. Yes, when we were in Birmingham this summer, she had some amazing wide leg trousers, and I thought I want to be like Jen. So now I've made about 5 pairs of the Loddon pants because they are super, super wide. My most recent pair is in denim. And makes your hands blue sewing with it, which I love. But because this fabric's a bit stiffer as well, they are just proper wide.
Cool.
Yeah,
And it's tall as well, so they look nice.
I'm not as tall as Jen. Jen looks amazing in her big stripy ones that she calls them her Billy Connolly trousers. But yes, wide leg trousers is my new thing. Not just making maxi dresses all the time. Branching out into separates, which is why I need to make the Anthea blouse.
I feel like those are like the maxi dress of trousers.
Sorry, I missed that. You broke
The
up a bit.
wide leg trousers are like the maxi dress of trousers. They're like maximum trouser.
Maximum trouser, yes, maximum trousers. They're statements, aren't they? Statement trousers, yes. So clearly I can't stop making attention-seeking garments.
Yeah.
That's obviously my thing at the minute.
Excellent.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you just
got to
keep freezing a little tiny bit.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Hopefully,
Thank you.
running out too much now. But yeah, that was a really fun chat to hear about your stash and your fabrics and working on for Christmas. Have to keep an eye out for that. Do you reckon
Yes.
you'll have your peeling done for the 3rd, or does it depend if the days works out?
I'm not promising anything. We shall see what tomorrow brings. We shall see.
A weekend in between.
Yeah. Okay.
Brilliant. Cool. Well, thanks so much for joining. I'll be back at 8 p.m. with Ruan, who is the Yorkshire Sew Girl. So I'll be at 8 p.m. next Thursday. So yeah, I'll see you then. And thanks everyone for watching live and on catch up. Bye.
Bye.